Well, that now brings us to the closing arguments or closing remarks. And so we're going to start with Ms. Lowry, since you started first last time, so we're going to reverse that. Actually, you started last time, so you're going to start first.
Okay. Okay. Well, I just want to thank the church and the pastor of this gorgeous church and all of you guys that took time out of your heavy schedules to come out and to the barn. This is what we've got to do more often. And I can appreciate you for putting up with people like me for a long time. But I'm just one of them determined type of ladies because I feel I'm the best and you just don't need the rest, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, this is America and you have an equal chance and I'm not going to knock her, but I know I'm the best, baby. So vote for Carolyn T. Okay? That's me.
I think I got this right. Mr. Robinson, you're next.
So City Council is not a museum. You're not just putting people on the council who you might know their name, you might know all of our names, but it's who is going to fight for you. And the fact of the matter is, when I went to law school, I studied under Professor Derek Bell. He created critical race theory. And he taught me that a government is more than just taking out the trash for you and putting a police officer on the street. It's about giving our kids and our families the opportunities they deserve. And right now, when budgets are being cut at the state capitol, where I used to work, or I can see down at the Roosevelt District, kids who are failing, now is the time to elect someone who will fight for them, to make sure that we don't close down the South Bannon Community Library, reduce the hours, to make sure that we leave Hermoso Pool open so that kids in the summer have something to do, to make sure that the Phoenix After School program funding is restored. When I knock on doors and when I talk to people, that's what I say. And you know what? It resonates with them because they remember growing up in neighborhoods where a single parent could send their kids somewhere, or a senior could not just go to Bible study on Wednesday, but could also go and play bridge at a senior center in their neighborhood. That's what matters, and that's what counts in a city as big as Phoenix. And that's what I'm fighting to restore. So yes, all of us have great biographies. Every single one of the people up here on the stage I can count as a friend. But when you elect a council member, remember, this is the one opportunity for the next 12 years to chart the course of our neighborhoods. And if you care about those things, if you care about these kids that we all claim that we're fighting for, or you want to increase the property values by making sure that we have enough cops on the street, or you want to make sure that those cops work for us and with us as taxpayers, then vote for me. And if you want to move Phoenix forward and finally pass that baton of leadership that we say we want to do as a community, remember that this is the time and this is that opportunity. So thank you all for coming, for participating. Please be involved and engaged, and I do appreciate your time, and I ask for your vote.
Mr. Rodriguez, you're next.
Well, I'd like to thank Alpha Kappa Alpha and everyone for showing up. It's been a pleasure to be able to talk to you and kind of share some ideas. You know, I'm also from here, as I said before, and this whole area has changed dramatically from 47 years ago when I was born. It really has. But change brings a lot of dynamics that we really have to be careful about. A lot of people don't think about people when they're just kind of talking about different policies. A lot of these people want, light rail right down Central, but nobody thinks about the people that will be displaced as a result. Nobody thinks about Lolo's Chicken and Waffles is going to take a beating for a year when that thing's built. It may not be there when it's done. I know there's a lot of businesses down in Mesa and down the whole Washington corridor that were just crushed by that construction. And what do we get, when we put light rail down Central? We get one line of service. And if you've ever been down Central, down to the north, you'll see light rail, and right next to it, there'll be a city bus. So really, what are we getting out of that? And what's the cost? Who's going to pay that cost? We need to start looking at how people are affected, how you're affected. How does this affect people? Government has a nasty habit of creating committees and doing a lot of really cool stuff that they think is cool, but they never think about the person that it affects. And that's really where we need to focus. Security is important, not because we need more cops, but we need to make sure that people feel secure so they can walk out on their street at night. People. We need security so that business can grow and there'll be jobs for everybody, for people. So these are the kind of policies that I want to look at implementing, and make it easier for people to actually succeed and to be something and to go forward and to be better than they've ever been and have a better life for their kids than they had. And that's what we all want.
Finally, Reverend Stewart.
There's a song that says, "May the works I've done speak for me." There is a difference in all of the candidates here and the one who is not here. And that is that I have hands-on experience. For the last 36 years, I have served this community. I have been about common sense leadership. I have endeavored to collaborate and bring different groups together. I wake up every morning to do right by people, to do justice, to make an impact on our community. I've served on committees and commissions and I've been down to the state capitol, but I haven't had the privilege of serving in some ivory tower. I serve on the streets. I deal with economic development. I deal with housing. I deal with education. I deal with health and human resource issues on a daily basis. And so I am ready, January 1, after being elected, I'm ready to stand on the shoulders of Councilman Morrison Warren, Councilman Calvin Good, Councilman Cody Williams, Councilman Michael Johnson. Stand on their shoulders. We've come a long way from where we were, but we still have a ways to go. And so I'm willing to not erase their leadership, but to stand on their leadership and to take this district with you working alongside me and me working with you. Let's have a talk. Let's see what our priorities are, and I will be your voice. I will be your spokesperson on the city council. The city council has 8 members, so I'm not a one-person council, but I will do my best to build a coalition even on the city council so that the areas where District 8 has been ignored will no longer be ignored, and we can take this district and the entire city to become the first-class city that Phoenix can become. And I urge you to elect me as your next city councilman, that I may do that.
We want to thank the candidates for coming out tonight. I know you all have been busy campaigning. We have just about a month before the primary election. Can you believe that? August 27th. But before we close tonight, we want to acknowledge one of our co-sponsors tonight, the publisher of the Arizona Informant, Clovis Campbell.
I will be brief. I know you've been here for quite a while, but it's important. It's important that we have candidates like this that we can sit and listen to. I know you've been through a lot. We've done probably, 8, 9 debates now, but the 10th one is just as important as the first one. The key is that it's more important that we're involved in the process. Dr. King said it easily that the time you spend on earth is measured by the time you spend donating your time to other people. And it's important that these people are doing that regardless of who wins or who loses. That's the issue. Arizona Informant is always trying to make sure we put information in front of you that you can take, absorb, and utilize to the best of your ability. The main thing we do is record history. We record Black history every week. And as we get ready to go into another election, it's going to be an issue about African Americans being represented, or whoever represents District 8. It's going to be important that we are involved in the process. So at the end of the day, it's important that you're here. Your vote is what counts the most. People have died, people have fought, and people have killed to be able to vote in this country. And it's important that you're here today. If I can just leave you with one thing, and Lawrence said it, he said, we got to have a seat at the table. Well, Congressman Alcee Hastings put it best. He said it's important that you have a seat at the table. Because if you don't have a seat at the table, you just might be the one on the menu. Thank you.
And lastly, we want to thank Greater Bethel AME Church for holding this forum here tonight. This beautiful church. So for closing remarks, Reverend Sherilyn Lassie. Thank you so much. I am so excited that to have this opportunity to open up Greater Bethel to all of you.
as we have come out to hear very passionate people speak about what they want to do to help enhance our community. Greater Bethel sits in District 8, and so we have a vested interest in what goes on. We have a vested interest in this race, and so we were more than excited to host on tonight. We do hope you will continue to be involved, continue to be engaged in what's going on, continue to make a difference in this community. It can be everything that they said it can be. It can be a great community, it can be a model community, but it will take all of us to do that. And so again, we thank all of you for coming out tonight. We know you could have done and been other places, but this is very, very important. And your attendance here tonight speaks volumes, and we're delighted to have hosted you. Thank you so much, and as you go out to your various destinations, we pray God's blessings on you, that you will arrive safely. Thank you again. Keep educating yourself about the issues and the candidates, and please vote August 27th. Good night.